Hey nerds and nerdettes, it's Rick here again, back with another review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new, just released NECA Toys Preacher action figures. I'm going to be taking a look at Jesse, Custer, and Cassidy. These have just been released on the NECA eBay and Amazon stores, so these are not actually out in stores yet. You can't run to Toys R Us and pick these up, but they will be out very, very soon. I just had the good fortune of ordering these as soon as I saw them pop up on the eBay store, and they got here super duper quick, and here they are. So before we take a look at the figures, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. Pretty much the same packaging for both these guys, except for obviously down here at the bottom you got the name cards, Cassidy over here, Preacher over here, their individual pictures. You got, oh no, you got Preacher off here on the left side, along with the names, NECA down here at the bottom. You've got the Preacher logo with NECA again. Up in the front, obviously based on the AMC series. Focus, you son of a bitch. There you go, based on the AMC series. And then on the back, you've got bios for both characters here. If you want to take a pause on this guy, and then a pause on this guy. There you are. So they're pretty much the same packaging, except, you know, obviously individualized per character. So there we go. All right, give me a second to pop these guys open, and I will be back to take a look at the figures. All right, gang, so here are these guys out of packaging. Now, let me just say right off the bat that NECA confuses me a little bit sometimes. You know, they'll say that things aren't financially viable, or, you know, they won't do that well for them. You know, they'll pass on things like, you know, the Walking Dead license or certain movies that they say won't sell very well, but then they do things like pick up the Preacher license, which, don't get me wrong, is a great show. I love the show very much. One of my favorite shows on there currently. But I just don't foresee these two particular figures selling that well. Now, they are great figures. They do have their faults, and I will get to those in a moment. But, you know, they are great figures, but I just, you know, I really don't see these being made into a Series 2. They probably will not be doing as well as, you know, say the Ash vs. Evil Dead line. At least with the Ash vs. Evil Dead line, there's monsters, and it's iconic Bruce Campbell. Everybody knows Ash. I just don't see these doing as well. So, you know, there's no monsters, and it's just two guys, essentially, that kids will not know, only as collectors, and I didn't really see too much clamoring for the Preacher action figure license. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I like I said, I just don't see... I don't see these selling very well, and I think that NECA, for as smart as they are, you know, for as picky as they are about their licenses, I think they should have known that, and I just don't see, like, I don't see us getting a Tool Up or an Arseface or, you know, Saint of Killers, anything like that. As much as I would want them, I just don't see that happening. So that's just my little, you know, 2 cents as far as this goes. Excuse me. Now, as far as these figures go, they do have the same amount of articulation here, so let's just cover that real quick. We'll just cover it on Jesse real quick. So you've got a ball-jointed head. You do have ball-jointed shoulders. There is the Hasbro-style swivel-hinged elbows, so single elbow. There is a ball joint here in the wrist. There is a swivel at the waist, kind of on a ball joint, but the articulation is really hindered because of the sculpt. You got ball-jointed hips. There is, again, the same kind of swivel-hinged ball joint here in the, or I don't even know if it's a ball joint really, there in the knee. And then there is supposed to be articulation in the ankles here, but again, because of Jesse's sculpt, not much of a range of movement. Cassidy here has got a little bit more on his. Sculpting on these are pretty good, especially from the neck down. I like the folds of the clothes. I like the nice little details like the cigarette pack here in Jesse's pocket. Just very realistic sculpts. on in the stitches of the clothing, all that stuff. They are individualized sculpts, obviously. Cassie is a little bit taller than Jesse, as he should be, and skinnier. So there is a great deal of detail in the sculpts, which is the norm for NECA. Nothing shocking out of, oh my God, they did great sculpts. That's NECA's forte. However, I will say that the likenesses on the face are not the greatest, especially in Jesse's case. I'm not really getting I'm blanking on his name. Dominic Cooper, I think is the actor's name. I'm not really getting a Dominic Cooper vibe from the face sculpt. I mean, it's kind of there from certain angles, especially from like the profile, but from head on, I'm not really getting the vibe, and the hair is kind of funky too. It's not really how his is in the show. Cassidy, on the other hand, he fares a little bit better. I do kind of get the, and I'm blanking on the actor's name here. I just don't have a computer. I need to go to IMDb and see who the actor is right now. But I am getting a Cassidy vibe from it. I think I would have liked possibly maybe him to have a grinning face, kind of something that he's more known at, for. And he's drunk, per usual. I think I would have liked a grinning face, perhaps, because the angry face just isn't Cassidy to me. I think this is a poor, choice for a facial expression. I think also maybe an alternate face with sculpted on glasses would have been great. Sunglasses would have been a nice touch, but beggars can't be choosers. We do have preacher figures. I just, whatever. Personal preference. I'm a collector, so I'm entitled, right? Paint on these is pretty good. Obviously, Jesse is going to be a little bit easier to handle. He's pretty much all black clothing. But the little details here in the buttons, the collar here, the belt buckle, even the, it's kind of got a wash over the boots here, is nice and clean. He's got his rings, the fingernails are painted, his watch, so on and so forth. Pretty nicely done. No complaints there. Now, Cassidy, for some reason, they used a gloss on the pants, which I'm not really in favor of. I think that possibly they should know better. NECA, using matte painting. I don't know. I don't know if these were rushed or what the deal was in the factory, but, not really a fan of the gloss on the pants, but it is something that I can overlook. Everything else is very nice. Nice details in the tattoos on his forearms. I don't know what happened with the scruff on his face, but it just kind of looks like he just, I don't know, somebody gave him a dirty Sanchez and kind of missed halfway through. It's not really a great look. I may have to fix that myself, but I know I sound like I'm complaining about them. I really like the figures. It's just there are little minor nits that I need to point out to you guys. But, is what it is. All right, so let's take a look at the accessories for these guys. All right, so Jesse comes with a blue Bible. And I will point out why it is blue here in a moment. He comes with the coffee tin that carries the power. We will call it the power. He comes with 2 beer bottles. And then he comes with a pair of fists. As well as open hand. One open hand and then one grabbing hand that you can put a beer bottle into. Cassidy comes with, obviously, the 2 open hands. As well as a pair of fists, which again, the details on the knuckles, the tattoos and whatnot are very nicely done. He comes with a vodka bottle, as well as 2 beer bottles for himself, and then a red Bible, or as they put on here, the hymnal. But all right, you guys, so that was a look at the Preacher action figures by NECA Toys. Like I said, these are out right now on their eBay and Amazon stores. They should be out at Toys R Us fairly soon, as well as your favorite online retailers. If you're a fan of the show, I would say pick them up. They do have their faults, but they are overall pretty nice figures. Like I said, though, I wouldn't expect too much more. I don't really foresee these being a very successful toy line. But it is cool to have these two guys in action figure form. It is a pretty good show. If you haven't had the chance to check it out, please do so. I would recommend it. I don't know why I'm saying please. I've got no stake in it. Anyways, but all right, you guys. So that is that. If you guys like what you see here on my channel, please subscribe. We will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.